I think the worst case scenario that we have is that we have to do the same pullback here as we did in 2014, just like Bitcoin did in 2014. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. And wow, what a crazy 2 days it has been. What a huge surge in the viewership on my channel with the last video that I did regarding the different price points for XRP in the next bull market. And I'm just like shocked and stunned and a little bit nervous because I'm, used to doing this for just a couple hundred people, and now there's a whole lot more. But today I just wanted to kind of go through and answer a lot of the questions that people had regarding XRP chart, XRP price chart, and how I set things up. And one of like the most popular questions that was in the comment section of my last video, and this tells me that really a lot of people are wondering this too, is they're wanting to know the timing of everything. And we'll take a look at that timing and see if we can kind of get a better idea. And also, I think the reason that a lot of people have this question right now is because there were so many people on Twitter and YouTube who were predicting timing, and the timing has come and gone for all the predictions that were made out there. So we'll take a look at what exactly these people were looking at, why they made the prediction on timing that they did, and what played out, and what can we draw from that now and see if we can get anything out of that. Right now, if you pay attention to the US stock market, it's clearly in a big bubble. At some point, this bubble will pop, but nobody knows when it will happen. Now, the funny thing about it is after a bubble pops or after a surge takes place, you can kind of draw a chart afterwards and make it fit, and you can say, oh my goodness, it actually made perfect sense that it occurred right there and occurred exactly at the time that it did. But usually those are only things that you can notice in hindsight, and figuring that out ahead of time is really difficult. One of the common questions that I was getting regarding my previous video and the videos prior to that is what website I am using to get all this additional historical data on XRP. And first of all, I'm not sponsored by these guys at all. Um, so they're kind of just getting some free advertising here. But it's charts.cointrader.pro. And that's where I go to get all of this more historical type data. And we can go back to the very beginning of time. And this is for really all the digital assets that there are. And you just come up into the corner, type in XRP. It calls it Ripple, but whatever. You got XRP over Bitcoin, over the dollar, over Ethereum, over the market cap, the total supply, and you see, the XRP dominance. And this is being pulled from Coin Market Cap. So it was whatever the pricing was or the dominance was at the time that the snapshot was taken from Coin Market Cap. But it does update this like every minute. So all the data that they have, I mean, they literally have been pulling it every minute from Coin Market Cap. And then they've also got it from Coin Paprika and Coin Metrics. But this data I have found isn't quite as good as the data from Coin Market Cap. So one of the ones I like to use a lot is the XRP over market cap chart. And in one of my previous videos, I really show how we can draw more of a conclusion on what's going on by looking at the market cap chart. Like when we look at the Bitcoin chart, the Bitcoin market cap was the one that really told us where the bottom of the 2018 bear market was. Because of the fact that we went down 83.5% on the total market cap. And then in 2014, we had done the same thing. We went down 83% on the total market cap. And that was the signal that we were at the bottom. Now, if you remember at this time, and I'm sure anybody who is in this market right now was probably in the market at that time too. And then we capitulated to the bottom, and you had all the major personalities out there telling you, hey, we're going lower. we're going to 1,200 or we're going to 2,200 or 2,800. A lot of the big names, and I'm not going to name who they were, but you know who they were, just in public eye were telling you this is not the bottom. We are definitely going lower. And when there was unanimous consensus among so many people and so many big personalities that we had to go lower, what did we do? We broke out and went to the upside. So that brings me back on over to the XRP chart. While I am in agreement that it's certainly possible that we're going to be coming down to around the 15.4 to 16 cent region before we go, it's not a guarantee. There are so many people that are waiting for that. Will it offer that pricing? Man, I don't know. It could. I'm totally into the belief that we will be skyrocketing up to here at some point. And I feel that since I have so many new subscribers, I should probably elaborate why I also believe that. It's not just due to the charting. It's due to what I do for a living. I do work from home. I've been self-employed for 5 years, and I have to send wire transfers across the world all the time. I do it anywhere from 10 to 20 times per year. And these wire transfers cost me $45 each to do, and it takes usually a day or two for the other side of the world to receive my money. And in that time period of where they're waiting for my money, the money just kind of sits in limbo, and you just kind of have to wait to hear that they received it. When I go into the bank, I have to fill out all these forms in order to send this wire transfer, and then I'll, literally 90% of the time they bring back the form and they say, "Hey, can you take a look at this? Can you make sure that it's accurate?" I'll look at it and I'll say, "Hey, you've got one number wrong on this address," or it's usually an address issue or a bank issue. And these tiny little hiccups on these wire transfers can cause the money to not come into the account or the bank to not release the money to the person it's being sent to. So I see the value in this. And it's not just like, okay, so, okay, great. Yeah, you want to do that. And that's a good problem to solve. But is XRP really trying to solve this problem? Well, I look back at Swell, right? We look at Swell 2019. You see how many banks were there, how many customers were there. You hear the excitement and all these people trying to get onto it. It appears very likely that they really are trying to enter this market. I'm not saying that they're going to take the whole market away from Swift, but I think all that needs to happen is me as a customer walking into the bank being presented with two options, right? You're presented with the option of sending a Swift wire transfer that costs you $45, takes 2 days, and it's unsecure, or you can use the Ripple network or send XRP and the recipient will receive the money instantly. It'll cost you $1 to do it and it's safe and secured. If the customer is just presented that option, it's not a hard decision to make. It's a super easy decision to make. And I do believe that we are working towards getting to that point to where customers can make that decision in the bank. And I think that's all that needs to happen in order for this to start surging. So it's not just a technical analysis that leads me to that. I think there's a fundamental use case that is being implemented and worked on that will get us to that point. So I just thought I would elaborate on that. But here let's dive into this chart a little bit more. I do know that most people come to this channel now looking for some technical analysis. And, for me, we can sit here and we can nitpick every single little tiny price action moment, but I just don't see the point in really nitpicking that close. I think it's more important that we look at the really big picture of it and where we're going and just kind of sit there and wait and speculate and say, hey, when's it going to happen? When's the bigger, broader move going to start? Not necessarily when are these little 5, 10 cent, 20 cent swings going to happen. So let's kind of take a little bit of a look in here. When we go back and look more so at the timing thing, right? So the reason a lot of people have gotten timing wrong so far, at least people who are doing technical analysis on Twitter and YouTube, is most of them are copying and pasting this fractal right here. And they're simply just placing it right there. And they've built all their hype and their channel and everything based on this fractal playing out. And the biggest nightmare is happening is that it did look perfect. I agree. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh man, we're following it. It's looking great. And then suddenly it does not do it. And at the very last moment, it breaks away and doesn't do it. But the one thing I've always noticed about XRP, and if you've been in here since this time, but you weren't in here at this time, is that it loves to mess with people's psychology. The negative sentiment that was going on with these price swings right here was wild. I mean, it was either you loved XRP or you absolutely hated it. I still think there's a lot of that hate out there, but it doesn't seem like it's as bad as it was in here. And it was so bad. And I remember we pulled back here, and this was just the last straw for a lot of people. We came up, we didn't break it. We came up, we didn't break it. We came up, we got rejected again, and then it broke down again. And it was just the sentiment of XRP is never going to do anything. And then it went on the biggest rampage, and this is in the log scale, right? Let's look at it what it really looked like. It was pure madness when it happened. It just went absolutely rampaging. So it doesn't surprise me that, well, we didn't really get to finish this fractal off and it's doing this because it's it still could do that, but it just had to shake everybody out who was watching this fractal and get everybody's hope completely destroyed before doing it. But also, one of the things is that let's go back on over to the XRP market cap chart. Is that we might just have to do this though. I mean, we saw this in Bitcoin, right? We saw that it did an 83% drop in 2014 for the total market cap, and then it did an 83% drop for the total market cap for 2018. And we may just have to repeat exactly that with this 95.5% drop. But is that really the end of the world? I mean, I look at the use case, it just it doesn't seem like it's all that bad. Now, I mean, if you are completely out of money, right, and you are just like, I have to have this surge right now, yeah, that's probably a little bit disappointing. But maybe if you have like save a little bit of money. Let me reiterate this again. I say it in all my videos that I'm not a financial advisor and you have to make your own decisions for yourself. You can lose money. I'm not responsible for your decisions. But for me, yeah, I'm accumulating this and I will keep accumulating it down to here. So if it breaks below that, yeah, it would be a different story. It'd be a little scary, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think the worst case scenario that we have is that we have to do the same pullback here as we did in 2014, just like Bitcoin did in 2014, in 2018. So 2014 right here, 2018. I think we just have the same thing. And we're watching the same sentiment arise, right? There's so many people in agreement that the price has to go lower from here. And we had the exact same thing here with so many personalities saying that the price had to go lower from there. And I think we're just like right on the cusp of it. If it, I don't know how it'll play out when it does actually go down. If it does go down, it could just go up from here. But we can only speculate. Would this just be a quick wick down, just like these were? These were just quick little pops and then it went going. I would expect probably the same thing. I don't know, but I would expect the same thing. But, let me just, summarize it all real fast and make it easy. So, I know I ramble a lot in my videos, and we can kind of just give the quick little summary at the end. The thing that I most likely expect to happen is that XRP does have a fall down to about 15 cents, and then it starts the next bull market. And I do expect the bull market to take us up to at least $13. If we get beyond $13, then we'll likely go up into the $55 range. And then we'll just need to see what happens beyond that. I think it's a little hard to predict beyond that. There's that $500 plus area, but I'm expecting that we have a little bit of a pull down. Then we go ahead and we start our bull market. Now, a lot of people expect this pull down, so there's no guarantee that it'll happen. So I am not playing my cards that I'm out of this market and I'm completely betting everything that we're going to pull down to that 15. No way. I am 98% in this market. I've got 2% sitting on the side ready to buy this dip. So let's make that clear. I am in. So I expect a little bit of a pull down and then let's get going. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I got so many new subscribers and I'm thrilled. And please like my video and subscribe to my channel. As always, this is not investment advice. I am not a financial advisor, but if you ever need a pick me up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.